There are two types of people out there. One type sits around waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right motivation, waiting for the perfect circumstances to make the move. The other type creates the moment, stepping into the fray when they are not ready, when they are still afraid. The first type lives to feel comfortable. The second type lives to grow, to surpass. Which type are you? If you are waiting for the day when you will feel ready, sorry, that day will not come. Because readiness is an illusion. No one is truly ready for a turning point in their lives. They simply dare to take the step. The problem is not that you lack the ability, it is that you are waiting for a miracle. But miracles do not appear. There are only decisions, and each decision rewrites your future. The world does not honor intentions, it only honors doers. You want to change? Want to break out of mediocrity? Then don't ask, when is the right time? Ask yourself, shall I start now? Because every second you hesitate is a second you retreat. Every moment you listen to fatigue instead of ideals is a step away from your dreams. Life does not forgive those who only know how to plan but do not commit. It only rewards those who dare to take steps, even though their legs are still shaking, even though their hearts are still afraid. And then one day, you will realize you do not need more opportunities. You just need to become the second type of person. If action is the sword, then thinking is the swordsman. Without a sharp mind, every effort you put in can go wrong. And what is worse than failure is making the wrong effort without even knowing it. Thinking is not something given by God. It is practiced every day, every small decision, every time you choose to overcome fear instead of turning your back. Have you noticed? People often blame circumstances, luck, other people. But very few dare to look inside and ask, what am I thinking every day? Am I programming my mind to be positive or negative? Thinking determines everything. It determines how you react to difficulties. It controls how you perceive failures. And ultimately, it shapes the person you become. A person with the right mindset is not someone who always wins. It is someone who does not stop when losing. People who dare to get up again, because in their mind, they have a strong belief, I can do it, just not now. Positive thinking is not about self-deception. It is about being completely honest with yourself, seeing your weaknesses, accepting them, and proactively changing. When you master your thinking, you will not need external motivation, because you no longer live on immediate emotions. You live on vision. Thinking becomes a compass, guiding you even when everything around you is chaotic. Don't underestimate the power of a single thought. Just one right thought can change the trajectory of your entire life. So, if you really want to upgrade your life, don't start by changing your environment. Start by changing the way you think every day. Thinking is the foundation. Everything you build on top of it will either stand or fall because of it. There is a harsh truth that few dare to face. Procrastination is not standing still, it is falling behind. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you are not just pausing, you are giving up your position, your opportunity, and your future to someone else. In a world where everything is moving faster every day, standing still means falling behind. You think you need time to think it over. Wait for a better time? But the truth is, there is no perfect time. There never is. The only time you can control is right now, this moment, where you are breathing, listening, living. Every second you hesitate, you are giving up the opportunity to someone else. Someone who acts faster, more decisively, and without excuses like you. You can postpone one thing, but you cannot postpone life. Every day you choose not to act is a day you teach your brain to accept ease over necessity. Do you procrastinate because you're afraid of making mistakes? But remember, successful people make more mistakes than you try. They're not more perfect, they just take more action. They understand that imperfect action is always better than a great idea stuck in their head. You say you need motivation? Motivation doesn't come first. It comes after action. Want a fire? You have to strike the first spark. Every time you choose to procrastinate, you're not only taking a step back from your goal, you're losing a piece of your confidence, a piece of your discipline, and another reason to not believe in yourself. Procrastination doesn't just waste time. It eats away at your identity. Who do you want to be? Someone who's always trying to? Or someone who's started, made mistakes, learned, and is moving forward? Remember, you're not a victim of procrastination. You're the one who decides. And if you have developed the habit of procrastination, you can also break it. You don't have to be perfect to start. You just have to start to get closer to perfection. Act now, not because you are ready, but because you refuse to let this life pass you by in procrastination. There is a trap that 90% of people don't even realize they are stuck in. It has no chains, no fences, but it locks them in for life. And that trap is called the comfort zone. It doesn't hurt you, it doesn't scare you, it even makes you comfortable. And it's that comfort that kills your motivation, your desire, and your courage every day. You're not okay in your comfort zone. You're just used to stagnation. You're not living, you're just existing. Take a look at yourself. Have you ever wanted to learn a new skill, but then thought, no need? Have you ever wanted to start a project, but said, let's wait a little longer to be sure? Have you ever watched someone else break through and thought, if only I dared to try? Every time you don't take action, don't step forward, don't take risks, you're building a wall around your comfort zone. And then you start to believe, this is my limit. No, that limit doesn't exist. It's just an excuse your comfort zone uses to keep you there. Why are you afraid to leave your comfort zone? Because out there is uncertainty. Because out there is failure, mistakes, and the eyes of others. But out there is also growth, breakthroughs, and where all dreams come true. You'll never discover your true potential if you only do what's easy, what's familiar, what's not risky. Success isn't in your comfort zone. It's on the other side of fear. You don't have to jump off a cliff, but you do have to step out of that little circle, little by little. Make the call you've always been afraid to make. Write the first line of your book. Send in your resume for that job that makes you nervous. Every action like that is a slap in the face to stagnation. It is a declaration, I was not born to live just enough. Remember, you were not born to be safe. You were born to challenge yourself, to crash, to rise, to evolve, to conquer. And the paradox is, true safety comes when you are strong enough to step out of your comfort zone, not when you hide in it. Don't let your comfort zone become a spiritual tomb. Don't let today's comfort be exchanged for a lifetime of regret. If you've been waiting for the right time to change, this is it. This moment. Not next week, not next month. Now. Break the barrier. Step out. Because your comfort zone is no longer safe. Every day, when you open your eyes, you don't just enter a new day. You enter a silent battle in your mind. And do you know what determines the outcome of that battle? It's not circumstances. It's not luck. It's the thoughts you allow to exist in your head. Understand this. Your subconscious is where all your actions begin. Every choice, every reaction, every decision comes from there. So, if you don't consciously reprogram your subconscious, you're living by default, and most of those settings are copied from other people's fears, limitations, and failures. You've heard since childhood, success isn't for everyone. You have to have conditions to do great things. Just live your life. Safety is happiness. All of those words, little by little, become programming commands in your mind. And worse, you believe them to be true. But the truth is different. You have the power to reprogram yourself. You can replace limiting commands with empowering commands. You can dig deep into your subconscious and plant beliefs, discipline, and motivation. Mind training is not about meditating all day. It starts with small things. What words do you choose to say to yourself every morning? When failure comes, do you say, I'm so stupid, or I'm learning faster? When you're tired, do you complain or remind yourself why you started? Every time you choose to react differently, you are rewriting the source code in your head. You are reshaping who I am in your own mind. Remember, the mind doesn't care what is true, It just repeats what you say the most. Say, I am weak enough times and you will be weak. Say, I will overcome enough times. And your brain will start to believe it and start acting in accordance with that belief. Your strength is not in your muscles, it is in your ability to master your mind. This is not a fancy philosophy. This is a practical tool. And the one who controls your subconscious mind controls your life. From today, start reprogramming yourself. Every sentence is a line of code. Every thought is a command. So what will you install today? Procrastination or progress? Fear or courage? You can't control the world, but you can always control your mind. Train your mind, reprogram, and then you will realize you don't need the world to change, you just need yourself to wake up. There are two mindsets that are silently battling inside you every day. One is the emotional mindset, the instinctive, easygoing emotional response. The other is the disciplined mindset, the one that shapes your behavior with reason, principles, and determination. The question is, who are you letting drive your life? The emotional mindset will whisper, I'm tired. I can do it tomorrow. It's okay to take a day off. I'm stressed. Let me reward myself. It always comes up with a good reason to avoid, procrastinate, or give up. But the problem is, emotions are fickle. You can't build a resilient life on shaky foundations. The disciplined mindset is different. It says, I don't need inspiration. I need action. I'm doing this for the purpose, not the mood. I don't bargain with laziness. I command it to shut up. Emotional thinking runs on feelings. Disciplined thinking runs on commitments. People who live by emotions are controlled by the environment. When it rains, they stop. When they're in a bad mood, they give up. When they find it difficult, they back down. People who live by discipline, they control even when the weather is not on their side. They don't ask, am I in the mood? They ask, what have I committed to? You are not a victim of your emotions unless you choose to believe so. Look at the best people in their field. Elite athletes, successful entrepreneurs, great leaders. Do you think they're always on fire every morning? Number. But they have something that ordinary people don't have: inner discipline. And here's the key. Emotional thinking helps you survive. Disciplined thinking helps you thrive. Do you want to survive? Or do you want to lead? Do you want to live each day according to your mood? Or do you want to move each day toward your goal? You cannot achieve extraordinary results by following your normal emotions. Don't get me wrong. Emotions are not your enemy. But they should be data, not a guide to action. You feel them, then you decide with discipline. From now on, practice an inner command. No matter how I feel, I will act. No compromise, no negotiation, no procrastination. You are not a slave to your emotions. You are the commander. And commanders don't ask for emotions. They command results. There is a truth that few dare to face. Every second that passes is a second of either moving forward or falling back. There is no gray area. There is no middle ground. Either you move forward or you lose. Time doesn't care if you're inspired or not. It doesn't wait for you to plan. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It just flows. It never stops. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't turn back. The problem is, most people don't live. They procrastinate. They procrastinate because they think there's plenty of time. They procrastinate because they wait for the perfect moment. They procrastinate because they believe someday I'll get serious. But there is no someday. There is only this moment, and it will be gone before you know it. Do you know why successful people are different? It's not because they're better. It's because they worship every second. They act while others wait. They start while others hesitate. They strike while others are thinking. Speed kills procrastination. Speed is the leader's weapon. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know to start. Every time you hesitate, you are sending a signal to your brain. Procrastination is acceptable. and your brain will remember. It will turn hesitation into a habit, turn waiting into an identity, and one day you will wake up to a life you no longer control. Success is not for the slow. Opportunity is not patient. Dreams do not repeat. You can redo many things: money, relationships, skills, but there is one thing you cannot get back: lost time. Time is the only asset you are spending every day, whether you realize it or not. And every minute you don't live your life to the fullest, act with discipline, push your limits, is a minute you're investing in regret. From now on, make a commitment. Don't waste a single second. Act even when you're not ready. Move forward even when you're not sure. Time is a knife. Either you use it to cut through every limitation, or you let it cut through every opportunity you ever had. We don't lack time. We don't lack talent. The only thing we truly have in abundance are excuses. It's not the right time. I lack knowledge. I'm too tired. I'm not sure I'm good enough. That's not an excuse. That's a sugar-coated excuse. Every time you make an excuse, you're telling the world, and worse, yourself, I'm doomed to fail before I even start. And what's more dangerous is, your brain will believe it. It will start training you to be someone who always has excuses instead of results. Successful people and unsuccessful people are no different in terms of conditions. They differ in how they deal with excuses. Unsuccessful people turn excuses into barriers. Successful people turn excuses into leverage. No money? They learn to make money by being creative. No time? They cut out the unnecessary. No skills? They start by learning every day. They don't ask, what am I missing? They ask, what can I do with what I have? And here's the bitter truth. The excuse you're using to procrastinate, someone else has had it too. But they don't sit still. They take action. Even if it's not perfect, they move forward, even if they're confused. They burn the excuse and use that flame to light the way forward. You need to understand, an excuse is never the truth. It's a lie repeated too many times. And if you don't destroy it, it will destroy you, little by little, silently. You get used to waiting, postponing, thinking again, until one day, there's no time to start. From today, make a commitment to yourself. No excuses. No excuses. Just results. Better to be wrong than to wait forever for the right. Better to act and learn than to think until there is no more chance. You were not born to make excuses. You were born to break through. So, if you have any excuses in your head, burn them. Turn them into fuel to move forward. Because the great journey only begins when all excuses are destroyed. Success is not built on inspiration. It is built on bricks of discipline, repeated every day, even when you don't want to. You see someone who has reached the top and think, they must have some special talent. They must be lucky. But if you take their success apart layer by layer, you will see discipline is the foundation. No giant is born. They are all forged from the mornings when they didn't want to get up but still got up. From the days when they were tired but still practiced, learned, worked, acted. Discipline is not sexy. It is not shiny. It is not viral on social media. But it is the one thing that never betrays you. You may lose motivation. You may lose interest. But if you have discipline, you will still move forward. The question is not, do I want to be successful? Who doesn't want to? The question is, do I have the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when I don't feel like it? That answer separates the average person from the giant. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself. It's about loving a better version of yourself. It's about choosing every day to move closer to the person you know you can become. And make no mistake, discipline doesn't kill freedom. Discipline is freedom. Undisciplined people live by their emotions and are controlled by their emotions. Disciplined people control themselves and therefore control their lives. Discipline is the promise you make to yourself when no one is looking. It's the voice in your head when an excuse says, "Take a break, you deserve to relax." And you say, "No, I deserve the results I promised." What do you want to build in this life? Whether it's a strong body, financial independence, or a brilliant career, they all have the same foundation: discipline. Not too much, just enough to not betray what you have chosen every day. You don't need to be a genius. You just need enough discipline to not give up. Because those who don't give up are always closer to greatness. There is an enemy you face every day. It is not out there. It does not carry a sword, it has no clear shape. But it is more dangerous than anyone else, because it is inside you. The enemy is procrastination, doubt, comfort, fear. All of it comes down to one thing: your undisciplined self. You can defeat others with strength, but you can only defeat yourself with will and discipline. No one stops you from acting as quickly as you. No one slows you down like your fear. No one makes you give up as quickly as that little voice in your head that says, "It's okay, take a day off." Do you think the enemy is your circumstances? Other people not supporting you? Lack of resources? The enemy is you when you refuse to change. And the good news is, you are also the only warrior who can defeat that person. You don't need anyone to save you. You just have to choose to stand up every day against the easy, against the little self that likes safety, likes to procrastinate. Every time you say, "I will do it, even if it's hard," it's a step forward. Every time you surpass yourself yesterday, you are winning a silent battle. Winning yourself doesn't come from a grand decision. It comes from small choices every day. Wake up early or sleep in. Keep going or give up. Trust yourself or listen to fear. You don't have to defeat the whole world. You just have to defeat the weak version of you yesterday. And if you do that continuously, endlessly, this world will no longer be impossible. You've heard enough. You've thought long enough. Now is not the time to analyze, to procrastinate, to write another plan. It's time to act. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. But now, in this moment. Thoughts are only valuable when they are put into motion. Discipline is only powerful when you do what needs to be done. You can hoard 1,000 ideas, but if you don't start, they're worthless. The world doesn't reward dreamers. It rewards doers. Ask yourself, what are you waiting for to start? How many more days will you let go of regret? Will you act, or will you add another excuse to your procrastination notebook? If you want your life to break out, you have to be the first to break out of the familiar. And that starts with a small action, a decisive decision, a firm commitment. I do it now. Don't just listen. Don't just nod. Do it. Because no one else can do it for you. And the greater version of you is waiting on the other side of that first action.